In Teams, one of the functions or tools that you have at your disposal are channels. Channels are, think of them as sections to organize discussion amongst students. And when I say discussion, I mean typed posting type discussion, and a way to also group students within a channel for a discussion if you want only certain students to access that group. So when the team starts out or is created, it has a general channel, and that's it. To add more channels, go up to the team name, click on the ellipses, and select Add Channel. And the first thing it asks you to do is name the channel. Now, the first channel that I would add is some sort of channel where the students can post, more of like a class community building type channel, not necessarily one tied to any curriculum material. But I also add the reminder that must be school appropriate. Oops. Must be school appropriate. And must also be spelled correctly. Just to remind them, hey, this is still school. And then I usually don't do a description. It defaults to a standard privacy, meaning that everyone can access it in the team, and then automatically shows up on every channel. Select that box and click Add, and it will add that channel. The third channel I would add would be one for discussion just between the teacher and a specific student or students. So we're going to set this channel up in a way that allows us to control who has access to it. And that way we could have a meeting, say, with a student or a student and their parent within this channel that no one else would even see if they weren't a part of the channel or be able to join. So we're going to call this, we'll just call it private. Call it private discussions. Now again, the student, the whole class isn't going to see this channel. Only those who we give access to specifically will see it. So we'll call it private discussions. We're going to change it, and you can call it whatever you want, just so you know what it is. We're going to change it to private, so it's only accessible by those we give access to. Now we're going to select Next. Now at this time, I can give a student or students access to it, or I can do that later. But for right now, I'm going to give access to a student. So let's say I needed to have a discussion with that student in the class. So select Add, and then I'm done. So now only that student, in this case Tana, sees that in her channels along with me. So if I create a meeting in that channel, only she will see it, only she can join it. Now, say I've had my meeting with Tana, I need to have a meeting with someone else. Come back here, want to manage the channel. So within the channel, right now, Tana is a member, and I'm going to remove her from the channel. She will no longer see it in her student view, and right now there's no one. If I wanted to add someone, I could right now, or I could simply go back. Let's say I needed to add another student. Let's say I need to talk with a couple of students. Say they've been struggling with something, and I want to have a meeting with those students and myself, so I could add a couple of them. You can add as many as you want here. The point is that you control the access of it. So I select Add, then Close. Now they see it in their channel view. Tana no longer sees it in her channel view. If I have a meeting in that channel, only they can access it, no one else. and then we've had the meeting. I want to go back. I would recommend, if you're using this channel for meetings with students, that I would recommend removing them after you've had the meeting, just so you don't forget. So here you go, manage channel, and the members, and we're going to remove those members from it. So now there's no one in the channel. Only I now see that channel. It's a pretty handy tool. Other than that, I wouldn't add a lot more channels at this point. And I would only have meetings, general meetings with the class in the general channel. It becomes confusing for students if you have meetings in different channels for different things. Students can get lost. That's why I would only have a general channel. You might create more channels in the future and give a certain group of students access to that channel where they can post comments on discussions of something they're working on. And you could also, if you wanted to meet just with that group, you could meet within their channel. But as far as class, overall class meetings, I would always have them in the general channel to avoid confusion of where the meeting is taking place.